the G7's oil price cap proves to be effective. Welcome to our latest video on the impact of the G7's oil price cap on Russia's economy. In December, the G7 and EU announced a cap on the price of Russian oil, with the intention of limiting Russia's oil revenues. Many analysts were skeptical about the effectiveness of this measure, but in the months since its implementation, it has become clear that the price cap is working surprisingly well. In this video, we will take a closer look at the reasons behind the success of the price cap, its impact on Russia's economy, and the potential responses from the Kremlin. So, stay tuned for an in-depth analysis of this important topic. When the G7 first announced their price cap on Russian oil back in early December, most analysts were skeptical. Historically, sanctions on oil have proven to be ineffective because the world heavily relies on oil and buyers can usually be found despite sanctions. However, in the month following the implementation of the price cap, Russia's oil revenues have significantly decreased, indicating that the price cap is working effectively. In this video, we will examine how and why the price cap is working, the impact on Russia's economy and its ability to finance the war, and potential responses from the Kremlin. To begin, the G7 and European Union announced on December 2 that they would no longer import any Russian oil and that any other country buying Russian oil could not pay more than $60 per barrel. The G7 and European Union plan to enforce this by banning their countries from shipping oil or providing insurance to other ships that do not abide by the cap. This means that European ships, which typically account for a majority of Russia's oil shipping, cannot continue unless they comply with the cap, and non-European ships will not be able to obtain insurance from American or European companies. Western companies provide around 95% of all shipping insurance, making it difficult for any third country to ignore the cap. Initially, analysts were doubtful about the effectiveness of the cap, as it was only slightly lower than what Russia was already selling its oil for. However, the day before the cap was announced, future contracts for Russian crude oil were trading at around $69 per barrel. In response to the cap, Putin threatened to cut production and sell to non-compliant countries, and reports surfaced of a fleet of shadow tankers to replace any potential shortfall. However, the price immediately fell below the $60 threshold and the volume of oil exported by Russia fell by 25% in the first week, resulting in a decrease of at least a third in Russia's oil revenues. Since then, prices have continued to decline and Russian oil companies may now be operating at a loss due to the high cost of extraction and the global economic recession. Despite the decrease in oil prices worldwide, Russian oil has seen a steeper decline than other benchmarks. This steep decline in oil prices is having a significant impact on Russia's economy, which heavily relies on oil exports for revenue. The decrease in oil revenues is also affecting Russia's ability to finance its ongoing war efforts. The Kremlin is now facing a difficult decision on how to respond to this situation. Some possible options include increasing production and trying to sell oil at a lower price, cutting production and focusing on domestic consumption, or finding new buyers for their oil. Whatever the decision, it is clear that the G7 and EU's oil price cap is having a significant impact on Russia's economy and its ability to finance its ongoing activities. The situation will continue to be closely monitored in the coming weeks and months to see how the Kremlin will respond and what the long-term effects of the price cap will be. It is worth noting that the price cap is not only affecting Russia's economy but also impacting other oil-dependent countries, such as Venezuela, which is already facing a severe economic crisis. Additionally, the price cap may also have a knock-on effect on the global economy, as the decrease in oil revenues may lead to a decrease in investment and a slowdown in economic growth. Furthermore, the price cap may also have a political impact, as it may strain relations between the G7 and EU countries on one side and Russia, China and other countries on the other side, especially if the Kremlin decides to retaliate by imposing trade restrictions or sanctions of its own. In summary, the G7 and EU's oil price cap has proven to be an effective measure in limiting Russia's oil revenues and potentially affecting its economy and ability to finance its activities. However, the situation is still fluid and the long-term effects of the price cap on the global economy, politics and other oil-dependent countries are yet to be seen. We hope you found this video informative and insightful. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more analysis on current events, and leave a comment letting us know your thoughts on this topic. Also, if you liked the video, don't forget to give this video a like. It helps us to reach more people and keep bringing you the latest updates on this and other important issues. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.